I'm Izzy, and I'm a mixed girl in a mixed up world. And my special guest tonight is a fellow high school student of mine. Haven't seen her in what, 30 years?
At least.
Sapia. What's going on?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Just hanging out.
I'm glad you're here with me.
I know it's been too long.
I know. It has. Way too long. So I know you, but not everybody will know you. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
I'm Tina Sapia, from Lawrence, Massachusetts. Grew up in Derry, New Hampshire. Went to high school with you. Graduated in '94. Then moved after college. I went to Keene State. After Keene State, I came down to Florida and made a life down here. Had a job, a regular, 9-to-5 job, working 40 hours a week, in the corporate world, but it wasn't my thing. I wasn't made for the corporate world, I don't think. So I kind of had to let go of that life. And I worked 40 hours a week while going to school full time and became a barber. And I've been a barber now for 8 years.
Nice.
So
nice. So do you own your own shop or anything?
Yeah. So I have a barbershop in Clearwater, Florida. It's called Sapia's Barbershop. I also have a salon named Ciao Bella Salon that's right next door to my barbershop. So I have that going. It's been open for about 4 years now, and the salon's been open 3 years.
Nice.
So before that, I worked for another guy. I worked for a guy. That was my first experience in a barbershop, like working in a barbershop. Mm-hmm. So I had no idea what it was like.
Yeah.
I was with him for 4 or 5 years. But since I didn't know how barbershops work, like I just saw them having people sign in on a notebook. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, why don't they just start a spreadsheet or something?
Yeah.
So I got him to kind of update his stuff. He started figuring out, this is how many people we do in a month. Like, this is crazy. I could be making more money. So when he saw all that, he started overcharging us. And that's when things started to go sour a little bit. And that's what made me actually try and get my own shop.
Yeah.
After that, so.
Well, like, hey, some things happen for a reason. So got you to where you are now.
Yeah, I am 100% believer in that. Exactly. Like even bad things that happen for a reason, happen for you to better yourself.
Yeah.
I honestly, like, after I stayed there with him for 4 years, 5 years, I'm like, I don't even need my own shop. I'm making I'm making money here. I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to, but then when he's like, he made it so we're paying $200 a week plus $2 per person. So if I had like a few hundred people come a month, let's say just a few hundred, that's $2 times times that. Wow. So plus $200 a week.
Wow.
So I ended up, I think, giving him I went from paying him $800 a month to $1,800 a month because of the clientele that I had. Wow. So I'm like, dang, I did the numbers. I'm like, dang, I could probably get my own shop.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, I could pay for my own shop by myself at this point. Why am I paying this guy? And that's what prompted me. I'm like, F this guy. I'm out.
Hey, it got you to where you are, so it's a good stepping stone. You learned you can't always trust people, and you can't always rely on it.
I was so naive.
So what got you into being a barber?
It's a few things, actually. I mean, one of them being I love art. I love to, any type of artwork, that's my thing.
Yeah.
So I found a way to kind of like start drawing on people's heads, So I started doing designs and stuff like that. And it was exciting, like, oh, what's the next thing? What's the next coolest thing that I can do? But mostly because every time I'd go to a barbershop, people wouldn't get my hair as skin tight as I wanted, because back in the day, not a lot of women went to barbershops,
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a thing. So I started cutting my own hair, and I became obsessed with cutting my own hair. And like every few days, I'm like, did any grow? And I would touch it up. Like my hair was always skin tight. Went from then that wasn't good enough, because I'm like, my hair's obviously not growing fast enough. So I just started cutting my friend's hair for free.
Nice.
And then once I did all that, I started charging them $10 a head. And I was making like a little side hustle. I'm like, man, I'm doing it anyways. I might as well go to school.
Might as well make a little coin from it.
Yeah, I'm not having any fun working for the Bright House Networks, which is the local cable company.
Yeah.
I was a manager there for a while, and I couldn't make anybody happy at that place. So I'm just like, I'm out.
Yeah. Hey, like you said, got you to where you are. Sometimes you gotta struggle a little to realize where you want to go.
Right. Exactly. That's exactly what happened too.
Now, most women tend to go into hairdressing, not being a barber. What made you choose being a barber instead of a hairdresser?
Because I really had no desire doing long hair and actually spending 4 hours with one person.
What do you mean?
I'm just kidding. Right, like to do your hair.
My hair, it takes more than 4 hours to color my hair.
It would take a long time. Yeah. And it's backbreaking. You have to wash after every single thing you do. You have to dry it. It's just way too much. I could bust out like 5 people in an hour.
Yeah.
And see you later. We're talking for like a good 15 minutes, solid conversation. And that's it, Yeah. I mean, and plus I'm not saying anything, but a lot of dudes are easier to deal with, you know what I mean, when it comes to that. And they're easy to please in a way,
Yeah.
Like, yo, your girl's gonna love this haircut, you know what I mean? Like you can gas them, and they like love it, Your girl's she's gonna love you tonight. Got that fresh cut.
That's funny. So you said you own the barbershop in now, do you do the day-to-day at the salon, or does somebody else do the salon?
So Angela does the salon. She does the salon side. She's like my ride or die. She basically takes care of everything. Like she helped me build it, we every night after work would go to the shop and paint or put up wallpaper or tile or whatever needed to be done. We just did it every night after work until it was all done.
Yeah.
So, she's a huge reason why that salon. Well, she is the reason why the salon is successful, honestly. It's all her.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. You have somebody, that you could trust. How is your business been affected with COVID?
So COVID was kind of scary. I mean, it started off with this guy kind of like not talking crap, but like I go live a lot on the live feed. So he started talking crap a little bit like, oh, I can't believe you're still open. And I'm like, what are you talking about? They haven't shut us down or anything. Why would I close? Didn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's like, oh, well, you know better. You should care about our elders. more than this. And I'm like, of course I care about our elders, like, but we still have to work as long as we're careful. So that kind of like rubbed me the wrong way. Then I'm like, all right, guys, let's take a week off, then we'll come back, see what's up. So when we decided to take a week off, we are going to come back. And then all of a sudden, like the news came out and was like, you gotta, we're closed down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shut down. Everybody shut down. So that was tough. Then we shut down for 6 weeks. I don't know the protocol to a pandemic. I don't think anybody did. So, I mean, as far as rent goes for the shop, I still did ask the guys for rent at first, but then, we discussed it and they were like, I don't really think it's fair for us to pay rent. So I'm like, you know what? Then like, how about this? I'll just cover it for the 6 weeks and then I'll figure something out. I've saved. I don't spend any of that money. So I have what we need to cover the 6 weeks, so I could do it. Mm-hmm. So that kind of helped them out in a way. And, but after the 6 weeks were done, we came back. Our customers were so like loyal to us. We had a scheduling, we have a scheduling app in place. So they just like literally boom, 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 scheduled right out. Like everybody just
nice
week after week, just scheduled out. I was so impressed by our people. Like it was intense. Like I have a whole new love for our people. They're no longer clients at all, like in any way, shape, or form. They're more like family now.
Yeah.
Because even when we're off, they were like, do you guys need anything? I know my customers reached out to me. They're like, you need money? You want me to deposit Venmo you some money? I'm like, no, it's all right. I saved some money. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, thank you. Who does that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
truly.
But that's when like what you're doing right, because like they obviously know that we love them. And I know that sounds corny as F, but they do.
Yeah. It's good.
We love them like our family. They support us. They come to us weekly, bi-weekly, by month, by monthly, whatever it is, they come to us.
Nice.
So I really like it, just changed our whole view of everything.
Yeah.
And showed us who our ride or dies are. And now we're just like, it's not the same, because we went from doing maybe 4 or 5 people in an hour, taking walk-ins, having a whole shop full of people talking smack, laughing, joking around, to now only having our customers in our chair and nobody in the waiting area at all.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just us and our customer, which, in a way has developed into something cool, because now we can kind of get to know them a little more. They feel a little better, like sharing a little more than they usually would.
Mm-hmm.
So with every negative, I try to find like something positive. And there's been a few positive things that have happened, since COVID. So I can't say it's all bad.
Yeah. Has it been scary, like working with the public? Because I mean, you kind of do take a risk, because you are, working with
in their face.
Yeah.
We're in their face 24/7.
You can't, clean somebody's edges up from like 6 feet away.
Right, with a broomstick handle, right?
Yeah.
Duct tape it to a broomstick. No, it's getting better, because we have a routine of cleaning now. We're aware of our hands, what we're touching at all times. I wear gloves constantly. We clean after every customer. But at first, I was going home with mad anxiety. Like, my anxiety level was through the roof.
Imagine.
Like, I thought I had COVID 900 times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like trying to catch a breath. Do I have it? Oh my God. And I'm like, do I have a fever? Checking my temperature every 2 seconds with the thermal like thermometer or whatever. I'm like, dead. doing everything. I thought I had it 50 times.
Do you guys check temperatures when people come into the building?
No, we don't. We don't check temperatures, only because they said that that's not even the case most of the time. So
I mean, sometimes you can catch somebody, but it's not. I mean, not everybody has. If you're asymptomatic, you're not going to have a fever.
Right, exactly. So there are a lot of times where we're asking our customers, so what'd you do? Like, oh, I went to the bars this weekend and, you know, this and that, and there was nobody wearing a mask. And we're like covering ourselves, like putting another mask on top of our mask, you know, as they're speaking, you know.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, we're just aware of what we're doing, and we're washing our hands constantly and cleaning up constantly. So what are you gonna do?
It's scary time. Especially to be
scary
working with the public. Like we said, it's not the type of business you have. Is you have to be in somebody's face.
Right. I mean, we could tell people that we don't want to do their beard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they have to keep their mask on while we cut their hair. So that's what we do. We make them keep their mask on the whole time. And then if we're doing their beard, any of their facial hair, then we have them take it off.
Yeah.
So that's the least amount of time that we're exposed to.
Yeah.
But you could get it from anything. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Now, so it's like either you try and do the best you can, being safe, or you just stay home and don't do anything your whole life.
Yeah. So being as that it's definitely a male dominated, I almost said sport. I don't know why I almost said sport, dominated field. How did you feel getting into it?
I'd say it was harder. It was harder for me, just because I'm not like your skinny, you know, model barber girl. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not that person. So at first, my style wasn't necessarily on point. You know, at first, I didn't know many people. I didn't know the way of a barbershop. You know, there's a way. And I went to a ghetto barbershop. So like I was the only white chick in there, you know, and people treat you differently.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they do. It's a fact. Has nothing to do with anything. You're a female. And that's it. Some people say it's against their religion that even have females cut their hair. And I've encountered that too. So it's like you have to work harder to gain people's trust. You know, especially ethnic hair, and that includes, you know, every Egyptian, Italian, you know what I mean? Like all these people have different culture, like Black people, you know, it's a different culture. Maybe they don't think a white chick knows how to cut their hair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or handle their hair. But they didn't know me, and they didn't know like I'm the type of person that like that was my focus in school. How am I going to do Black people's hair? How am I going to do Asian people's hair? Because their hair is extra straight. Mexican people, you know, all types. So once they saw that me doing a Black person's hair, then a lot of people started trusting me.
Yeah.
You know, little by little, once I had a few customers in, my personality started coming out, because I wasn't so nervous anymore.
Yeah.
And then once that happened, then I started gaining confidence. And then little by little, I'd say it took me about a year to actually build some clients.
Mm-hmm.
Because we didn't have Facebook, we didn't have Instagram.
Yeah.
But you had to like actually do something, put the leather to the streets, you know what I'm saying? So it was tough. But I did it. If you put your head to it, you can do it. Yeah. And I did it.
How's the dynamic? How did you, especially when you first started, what did you feel like the dynamic with the other barbers was? Were they accepting?
They looked at me weird.
Yeah.
They looked at me weird. They're like waiting. You know, they were cool. Like, don't get me wrong. Okay. Don't get me wrong. These people were cool. Like, we ended up being close.
Yeah.
But at first, they're like waiting on me, like licking their chops to be like, is she gonna F up or what? Like, I want to see this. You know what I'm saying? They were like just waiting on it. But I just, every haircut that I did, I tried my best on, and I was good enough going in because of all the times I cut my own hair and all the times I cut my friend's hair. So I kind of, I don't want to say I didn't mess up. I wasn't perfect for sure.
Yeah.
But I was good. I was good enough to get by.
Do they treat you like a chick, or do they treat you like one of the boys?
I think it's a little of both, strangely. So like if they're talking smack, or if they're talking about their girl or some girl that they're hanging with or going to see, then they know I can relate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, oh snap, tell me about that girl, whatever. And I feed into it, you know what I'm saying? But then there's times when they're like, so, and they try and holler. And I'm like, do you see what I see? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. Is it like a trick? Like, what are you trying to do? Is it like a competition? I don't get it. It's pretty funny though. I mean, I'll feed into it. You know what I'm saying? I'll laugh with them, and I'll talk so much smack. I really don't care. I'll just, I mean, you know me, I'm a crap talker. So
yeah. I mean, and you're personal anyway. So yeah, you got that, cool personality. So I'm sure.
Yeah. I'll talk crap to them. I don't even care who they are.
You and I have that in common. Got me in trouble a lot too.
Yeah. I was too afraid to get in trouble, but yeah, I did talk a lot of crap, even in high school. Yep.
So, what do you, so have you had any incidences where, being a female, you've had customers flat out say, she ain't touching my head?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. A lot of times. I ain't let no female cut my hair. I ain't let no female touch me. I'm like, relax. Like, settle down, buddy. I don't ever cut your hair anyways. Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need your haircut, dummy. That's what I wanted to say, but inside I'm like dying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, they freaking hate me. Like, I'm never gonna make it. That has happened to me a lot, actually. But I mean, what am I gonna do? It's just one person.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the next person is just another person. But there's more people out there. There's millions of people in the area. What am I gonna do? Cry about it?
Yeah, it's true.
So I had to succeed. I had to. There was no other option. I set it in my head, I have to at least make $120 a day to survive.
Yeah.
That's what I told myself. And legit, I made that every day.
Good.
And whether it be little kids' hair or taking every kid that like nobody else wanted, I did whoever's hair came to me. Old white dudes, I don't care. I like cutting people's hair. I'll cut whoever's hair. And it just got me to be better with scissors, with my shear work and stuff like that. They just didn't like doing older people's hair because they would have to break out their shears. So I'm like, okay, I'll break out my shears.
Yeah.
I like it. So it worked out for me.
Yeah, and you got to learn more, got to practice on all different kinds of people.
Right. I was doing like afros, big afros, shaping them into like microphone, you know what I mean? Like nice rounded, like,
yeah,
that was my favorite. Are you kidding me? Keep picking out an afro, picking it out so that it's like not just a one-time deal. I wanted it to be like nice and round no matter what. Like they wake up in the middle of the night, that crap is still round.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If they pick it out, it's still round. It's not like
Nice.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a challenge, but it was fun.
Now, with you owning your own place, do you feel that people are shocked that you're the owner because you are?
Yeah.
You know.
Hell yeah. It's weird. It's where we have. Okay, so Big Rob. So my crew is dope, right? But Big Rob is the only black dude in the crew, and for some reason, guess who the first person that anybody goes to is in the shop when they're looking for the owner or the manager? It's Big Rob. He's the only black dude that look around. Was a black dude right there. Let me head over to him. Like, that's the guy. That's the guy I have to talk to.
And he's like, nah.
He's like, who are you looking for? I need to speak to the owner. Isn't that you? He's like, nope. That girl over there, that's the owner. And so it's hilarious. We laugh all the time. They go straight to him though, but when they come to me, they're like surprised.
Yeah.
Like, all right, chick, did you hear? What? When my guys are like, yeah, I told my homeboy that a chick does my hair. He goes, no way. Like, what's wrong with that? Like, girls can't cut hair?
Well, it's just because it's a stereotypical, like, how a barber shop is supposed to be, you know, it's supposed to be, but
dudes,
it's 2021, you know.
Right. I know. I wanted to break that stereotype.
And stereotypes need to be broken, you know. We got to shatter
glass
ceilings everywhere we can. You know.
That's right. Because at my shop, I do not tolerate anything. Like, there's been times where Big Rob has been talked to in a certain way, and I shut it down before he could even think of a word to say.
Yeah.
I already shut it down. Already. Like, I told the guy to leave. I tell anybody, I don't care if you're in the middle of a haircut and you say some stupid crap, you're out.
Nice.
And that's the reputation I have now, because I don't like it. I don't like no cursing in my shop, no acting up.
Well, I wouldn't make it 5 minutes in your shop then without being able to curse.
No, I mean, I can't. I have families. I have elders. Our elders are in there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, moms with their kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to make it comfortable for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. You know.
For everyone. And that's rule number 1, no swearing. Rule number 2, control your kids. That's rule number 2. So they follow the rules. I mean.
Good. That is really good. It's good that you shut people down too, because I've worked in hostile environments, you know, growing up where we grew up, and it's not fun, you know, when you're dealing with people who can't understand that, you know, you don't. I
guess I can't wrap my mind around hating somebody or treating someone differently just because of where they're from. Like, how does anyone control where they're from?
Yeah.
Or how they were born, or what nationality they are.
Yeah.
Or people really wanted to look into history, they would see that we're all from that same area that they hate. And I know some people disagree with that, but you really need to look into history and see, because it's the truth.
Yep.
So to hate that is just to hate yourself.
And it does you no good to hate people because of their skin color or you know,
it makes no sense.
Orientation or any of that stuff, because it's like, who cares, you know?
It makes zero sense. Zero.
Well, recently you got picked to participate in something in Chicago. Why don't you tell me about that?
So, the Wall Clipper brand is a clipper company that I've been working with. I've been working with their clippers forever, since I began. That's the first clipper I picked up, is a Wall clipper. And so when I started, my first professional clipper was a Wall clipper as well. So I'm like, you know what? I really just, I want to be a part of this group. I want to like be a platform artist for them. I want to do this.
Nice.
And so that's been my goal this whole time. I recently just got asked to be a part of their team for their artistic team. It's more of like a refined, you know, like styling, cutting their hair and styling it, more editorial style
Nice
haircuts, you know.
Yeah.
And so I got picked to do that, and so they sent me out to Chicago. Just found out that I'm going somewhere else in May.
Nice.
To do something else. And I had an interview this morning for one of the barber magazines. So, and that's based out of like Europe. So, but it's a huge magazine in the barber world. So I'm wicked excited about it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Doing big things. Big things. So let me see. What else can you tell me about your shop?
My shop is basically a classic, well, a modern spin, like on a classic idea. So basically, you know, the checkerboard floors, the subway tiles, the old school looking parlor, you know, style barber chairs.
Yeah.
It's a comfortable place for everybody. So like anything that anybody says, first thing they say is, I love the vibe in the shop.
Nice.
So immediately you walk in and you can feel the vibe. It's like, what's up? You know, like, how you doing? But it's a genuine what's up, not like, welcome to Joe's. You know what I mean? Not like that. It's like a genuine, what's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah.
You know, like, let me help you.
Yeah.
And I think people are starting to know that now, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a cool place to just chill.
Nice.
We laugh a lot.
Hey, you gotta laugh at work, because if you're not, you're crying.
There you go. Nah, but we're laughing like extreme laughing. It's abnormal almost.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I'm really grateful for it.
Nice. Is there anything else you want to tell me about what you've learned being a barber? You know, anything about being a barber you want to tell me about your shop or anything else?
As far as being a barber, what I would say is it's about tradition and it's about the community. So I think as long as we keep it that way, we're the foundation. We're like that cornerstone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's really important to just be a place where people can meet up, and a safe place for maybe someone to drop their kid off and get their hair cut. You know, a safe place for someone to be like, yo, I'm trans and nobody wants to cut my hair. You know, like, I don't want to be judged anymore, you know, that type of place.
Nice. And that's good. Communities need more places like that. You know, we go to, you know, places like yours to make ourselves feel good. And, you know, if we can walk in and feel good about that, not just us walking out feeling good, but feel good about the place where we are, you know, that's a good place to
be.
It
makes a difference.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Well, we're going to switch things up a little, because we're going to talk about some stuff that went down in our high school. So for those who don't know, we went to a school called Pinkerton Academy, and there was a racial incident. Well, it was a bunch of them, but it was, you know, there was a fight between two guys. One was Dominican, one was white. It was a big fight after school, after everybody was like going home on the buses and stuff. And it popped off a lot of crazy stuff. There started happening where people were getting letters in their lockers saying that they hate all the N's and the S's and the N lovers, and you just happen to be one of the N lovers. Because, you know, we're all a big crew of people. And it was funny because, let me put my phone down for this, because I don't need to read questions. we had a big crew where there were like little cliques in our crew, so everybody understands, but we were also a big crew, a collective, a bunch of us. We used to, every morning, we'd all hang out down in the cafeteria and just like talk and chill and bug out and, get to know everybody. And we just, had a good time every morning. And then, we'd all see each other throughout the day, because we had our school campus is a pretty good, big school campus, especially for high school. And, we'd all just say, hi, what's up, every time we saw each other. And this took things to a very dark place at our school. And I do want to thank you for being an ally, because especially back then,
of course,
being an ally to the Black and Hispanic kids was different than it is now. Well, not necessarily different than it is now, but it there weren't that many of us, but we were a cool crew of, people, that collective, that crew that hung out, so I appreciate that, that you were one of the people that were like down with us,
Heck yeah, of course. I couldn't be a faker like that. You know what I mean? Like, I mean that.
So what do you remember about what went down at our school?
I just there being a lot of talk of, like, people having weapons in their locker, chains. Oh, this person has a chain and this person has this and this. Like, what is really going on, people?
Yeah.
Like, really, you want to start with the 5 Black kids that are in our school? Like, that's just a dummy move. You know what I mean? Like, what's anybody doing to you?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, even the Hispanic kids, like, there weren't that many of us. There weren't that many people that were like that. So why even bother? Why even bother people like that? It's not like anybody was starting with anybody. You know what I mean? Like, we're just, if anything, we're singing and dancing.
Yeah, we were our own little, our own little clique.
If anything, we were singing and dancing and laughing, like just joking around, like genuinely almost naive.
Yeah.
To any of that. And when you said that, it went to a dark place. I do remember that. I remember it going to a dark place. And it changed our whole freaking view.
Yeah.
And it was, and like, obviously people go through worse, right?
Oh yeah.
That was like, it wasn't too bad, quote unquote, when it in perspective, you know what I'm saying, for what it could have been. But I think our school handled it right for the time. I mean, they handled it for what that time was, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, we were too naive.
The crazy stuff that was reported, like there were parents who reported that they saw somebody dressed in a KKK outfit running across our soccer field. There was letters being left in lockers. I remember almost getting in a few fights because I'd be walking down the hall and somebody would be talking noise, and me being who I was, I had to say something. I couldn't just walk by and let somebody talk their mess. And it was weird because it's like the school kind of treated us like we were the ones that were wrong. We weren't. And they stopped allowing us to hang out in the cafeteria in the morning.
Oh yeah.
They were like, we want you guys to go to your homeroom. And we're like, this is the only place we feel safe. We're all together. And they're like, yeah, but you guys will be safer in your homeroom. We're like, no, we won't. If we're together, we're safer. And they were like, no, we want you guys to go to your homeroom. So it was like we were being punished for being attacked. And it was just like, what? That's crazy. That is crazy. And just, it was a weird and crazy time. And Mr. Ithamides, who everybody called Mr. Itchy Penis. He hated me. That man hated me because I didn't fear him. And I remember going to his office, and he was just like, oh, Melissa's here. Oh. And I was like, you know, if you guys don't do something, stuff's going to pop off, because tensions were starting to get high. And it's because we didn't know who was doing it. And I don't even know if we ever figured out who was leaving the notes. And I ended up working with the principal and the actual student council to try to get things better in the school. That actually ended up being everything that I worked on senior year. I ended up being like, oh, this is great, because I was like, civil rights, yay, this is great for me. But it ended, the last thing I really remember happening was my brother's locker got set on fire. And I know that they were targeting me because I was just at that locker. And I went to a study class right after that. And then the fire alarms went off. And when after the fire was put out, we got taken down to the office, and the cops interviewed me, and they treated me like I was the one who set the fire. And I understand, police got to ask questions to root stuff out, but they treated me like I was the one who set the locker on fire. And I don't know if I said it. I probably did, because the way my mouth was. I probably said if I was going to set something on fire, I would have burned the whole building down, not just, a little bit of locker. But I'm not sure if I said that. But knowing me, I probably did. I know I thought it. And just everything that went on was it was kind of crazy.
There was a bunch of crazy stuff going on. And nobody knew how to handle it, though.
Yeah, I'm just glad nobody got hurt. I don't want to say the name of the person, just not for us, but for other people. I don't want to put this person on blast. But it was somebody who hung out with us. It was a male who was very, very small, very small. And they came up to me and said, Mizzy, I'm scared. And I said, don't worry about it. You don't have anything to be scared about. If anybody messes with you, you come find me. He's like, I can't. He's like, yeah, but it's not like you can be with me 24/7. I was like, yeah, but you have friends. He's like, yeah, but I'm scared. He's like, I want to bring a gun to school. And I was like, don't do that. Don't bring a gun to school, because that's just taking it to another level that you won't be able to come back from. So.
Sure.
And racism is out there, and especially now the last few years, but it was like, I dealt with racism growing up in, New Hampshire a lot, especially from first grade to sixth grade. And then after sixth grade, people thought I was crazy, so they didn't really mess with me after that, because I beat the crap out of some kid for saying, shut up, Blackie. And so our school it felt like, for the most part, it was safe until then. And I don't know how you, being one of the white kids that hung out with us, if you felt that way.
I did. I guess I just didn't know, like, how so many words were tolerated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, just words, all these words that we used to, not we, but people used to use just freely, and it's like, shoot, we think about it now and it's like, holy crap, you can't even, like, breathe these words anymore at all. Like, don't even think about them, but like, we just tolerated people, for saying it. Nobody could say anything. I mean, the time frame was like, it was different. The school, we didn't know any different. you know, because school was never any better, let's just say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's almost like we let people do it just because that was the normal thing. But like thinking back, you know, obviously it's not normal. It didn't feel normal at the time either.
Mm-hmm.
But what was anybody going to say at that moment to anybody? You know, you could stick up for whoever, but, you know, like you'd get in trouble for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just get in trouble for starting. It didn't matter what it was for. You would just get in trouble for starting. It doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. But a lot of words were just tolerated by everybody. By black people tolerated it. Freaking Spanish people, Italian people, gay people. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we don't know why. We don't know why we allowed it. It's just all we knew. We didn't know life could be any different. You know, though we used to say, "Oh, that's," and I hate this right now. I hate it. But people are like, "Ah, you're retarded." What?
Yeah.
That's awful. That's awful. Don't say that.
I know.
Don't say that.
Growing up in like the late 80s, growing up in the 80s and 90s, it's like we said that, and like now when somebody says that in front of me, I cuss them out.
I cringe. I'm like, why did you say that? That's dumb. You can't find any other word.
Yeah.
To use, like, what your vocabulary is that like garbage that you can't.
I mean, even with like how, I mean, like just like how we used to say stuff like that's gay, that's you're so queer, and it's like, wow. We used to
see. I feel like I say those words now, but I feel like I can.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's so gay. That's freaking gay. You know, I say it just to be like, I know this is probably idiotic, but like just to be funny, you know what I'm saying? Because people look at me like you just said that. I'm like, I'm like, that's gay. Don't do that. Just to throw people off. But yeah, it's wrong. I mean, but like, you know, like I was saying, we didn't know any better. And that's society's fault, honestly. Because we didn't know how to be better.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, it does.
Like not even black people. We all knew what maybe the steps were, but like how do we accomplish that? You know, and black people the same way. Like, you remember our school had different entrances, right? They were labeled, even for men and women, like just labeled in general, like for different people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was weird. I remember that though.
It's funny because like I'm not really into hip hop as much as I used to be back then. And I used to listen to like mostly hip hop and R&B. And I used to like, because it was what I was listening to, and what I used to say the N-word all the time.
Oh yeah.
And then I got to a point I was like, what am I doing? And I know a lot of people don't come for me. I know a lot of black people use the N-word, but I, for myself, decided not to use the N-word because I was like, what am I doing? You know, my family fought so hard to be where they are. Why am I using this word that they gave us to so flippantly? So, and I said, you know, when people like, you know, Malcolm X, Medgar Evers, you know, Martin Luther King, and so many other people gave their lives for me to not be that. So why am I going to call myself that or use that in a, you know, in any way? So I stopped using it. It's like, I don't know.
I think a lot of people think it takes the power away from the word. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they use it. But I mean, it's all in people's choice. You know,
no,
how they
I agree with that.
it.
I agree. But I also look at it like when people ask me why is it okay for a black person to use it and not a white person? I said, let me.
Why do you question it? Why do you question it, bro?
Why do you even want to use it? First of all, second of all,
it's none of your business why black people want to use it. It's not any other person's business other than their own, though.
Exactly. But I tell people the best way to look at it is like, you wouldn't want somebody coming up to your family calling your mother or your sister or somebody a bitch. I said, but if you called your sister a bitch, it's your sister, you know, that's your family. That's you calling. But if somebody comes up and calls your sister a bitch, it's on. So it's like, you know, that's the way I explain it. Like, you know, Black people, it's a not, we're not all family, obviously, but it's family. Like it's us using it. But if you come at us using it, no, it's on. That's how I explain it. I said I personally don't use it, and I understand why people are fine with it. I disagree with that. That's just my mentality. That's how I go. But yeah, it was just, it kind of put a damper on like my senior year, and it would be your junior year. Like it made things crazy for, you know, like it made things tense. I think it brought our crew a little closer together though, but I mean, because there were some people in our crew that I didn't get along with. And even we found us even checking for each other. We'd walk down the hall and be like, "What's up? How you doing?" And I'm like, me and him wanted to punch each other in the face last week, but now we're like, "What's up?" You know. So it's like, it was crazy.
It is.
And then from Delmore's locker to be set on fire.
And he never used to do anything to anybody.
Nobody even really, it's crazy to say. I know people are going to be like, what? People didn't think of my brother as Black. They thought of me as Black, but they didn't think of my brother as Black. Like I had a girl in the homeroom, because I was in a junior homeroom. She sat in front of him and she's like, "Oh, you guys are brother and sister?" I'm like, there's not many Black people in this school and we have the same last name. Come on. So.
Oh yeah. We were stupid. We're all just kids, right? I mean, yeah. It's a crazy thing. How much we look back and like realize idiots. Yeah. We're idiots. But now things are different, you know. We're grown. We're in our 40s, late 40s now.
Shh, nobody needs to know our business. I'm just kidding.
In our late 40s, we're almost 50.
Yep.
That's the crazy part. We're almost 50.
Yeah.
But it definitely was really nice talking to you.
You too.
This was fun. We caught up on old times. Probably should do this more often.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
Have a Zoom meeting with some of our friends from back in the day.
Definitely.
That'd be cool, right?
Yeah, it would. Have a Zoom party, old school Zoom party.
Yeah, we should do it. Let's throw it out there.
Yeah, okay.
Wanna?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, and then you know, you should reach out to like different people, see what they're up to.
I've reached out to a few people, haven't heard back, but
really, I felt really bad too when you're like, I guess some other time I'm like, oh no. I'm like, no. I'm like, I can do it now. I can do it now.
No worries.
I didn't want to let you down. I'm like, I can do it now.
No,
don't leave me.
So is there anything else you want to touch upon?
No, that's it. That is it. I am grateful. I'm grateful for this meeting, for this interview.
Thank you for.
It was really nice.
And how can people reach your shop if they want to get your shop?
So we're on Google. It's Sapia's Barbershop, SAPIAS Barbershop, in Clearwater, Florida. Just look it up, and that's it.
Okay, cool.
Our scheduling site is on there too.
Nice. Well, so we're gonna say goodbye, and thank you again for doing this.
Of course.
I am Mizzy, and I'm a mixed girl in a mixed up world. Y'all have a nice night.
Have a good one.